All right, we're back on the mic, baby.
Ian, I'm tired. I'm tired, Ian. I don't know how else to start the show these days except I'm tired, boss.
You wanted it all.
I wanted it all.
You want a family. You want your own business. Welcome to the show, buddy. This is it.
Just want to be happy. I know Fideliper's listening and he's like, oh, more existential dread. This is what I live for.
He does love your existential dread.
He said that that's the only reason he tunes in is my existential dread. Is it that big of a storyline?
I mean, to be fair, it's sort of the foundation of the show, right? I love this whole episode is going to be full circle, but it's sort of the foundation. We're like, let's do a show. And then we got a couple episodes in. And then you're like, boom, laid off. And the existential dread began.
Yeah.
Arthritis, cold tanks. We haven't heard about a cold tank update in a while.
The cryo stuff. Yeah. We've got a little physical stuff coming up. I got a traction table. We'll tease that. We can talk about that at the end.
We should be teasing the later segments. That's true. That's a good point.
We should. Stay tuned to the very end for a very interesting and surprising segment that you won't want to miss. How was that?
That's great. It's
was that good?
Yeah, very good.
That was vague, but I think it'll work. Oh, okay. So here's the deal. We had our first sweet hang. Let's talk about that. We had our first sweet hang. So we had friend of the family on, Michelle Hansen, co-founder of Geocodia, which will come out in this very feed. So you all don't need to go anywhere. But listen, dear listeners, we're not going to deprive you of a little bit of Ian and Aaron arguing. It's additional. It's extra. It's bonus, baby. So that'll come out who knows when. What did we decide? Wednesday?
I think
Thursday?
Later this week. Yeah, we're not sure
Something
the
like
exact day, but in a couple of days, you're going to get this. And then in a couple of days, you're going to get bonus material, more of us. And yes, our friend Michelle, who I get along with fabulously. Love Michelle. Yep. And and so we're going to mix some of these in. We're going to do some sweet hangs, which I called it a hang. And then Aaron's like, we got to bring it up a little notch, a sweet hang. Beautiful. So good. That's like when you name the show. I was like, dude, let's do a show. I'm like, dude, let's do a show. You're like, okay, that's a great idea. Let's do a show. And I'm like, what are we going to call it? You're like, mostly technical. I was like, you just had it. It was just there. You were ready with it.
We went to hover.com and typed in mostlytechnical.com buy for $9.99. It's like, how can you believe? That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So the theory behind the sweet hangs is friends of the pod, get a little light business dad, a little light banter, just, come on, hang out, talk business, talk life, and then it'll be bonus content. So this is a nice way for us to both talk with friends, get a little bit more content out there, a little more distribution, give some people some different perspectives. All you people that have been listening and disagreeing with Ian for 2 years and agreeing with me for 2 years, now's your chance. Come on the show, have a sweet hang.
Yeah,
and maybe I can get an ally on here to back up my positions. I don't know. Just you for this one. It was just you and Michelle talking most of the time, which is
I was
great.
a little worried about that.
Nah,
we are very chatty together. We have
it's great
a chatty chemistry where we just get going. We're just like boom, boom, boom. I don't have that with a lot of people. You and me have that.
That's
me and her have that.
That's great. Nice. It'll ebb and flow. I'll have a sweet hang where it's mostly me and the guest, and then it'll go back and forth. I'm not concerned about it. I would, however, be concerned about it if we did it in place of the regular show.
Well, this is what we've always struggled with. It's like we'd like to have people on, but we don't like to not have. We need this is our therapy.
This is our therapy.
Our time. If we
you guys think Ian and I talk all the time, we don't. This is it.
This is it. This is all we talk. Literally, this is what we talk, and we need it. We got to get it out of our system. And so we've done this before where we had the interviews and it replaced the show, and we both don't like that. So this
then
is
the next
our
week
new
is
solution.
Stacked with week-old topics, and it's like, well, what are we doing here?
Well, this is another thing. Other shows are better about this. We are not, and I don't see us changing this. But like I just took something off the board. It was a totally generic topic. It was on last week. We didn't talk about it. And I don't want to bring it to the next week. Like that was a moment.
Nope.
It's past. It's not even time sensitive. We could totally talk about it, but I'm like, nah.
But the energy,
yes, the energy's gone. So
I agree.
That was happening to us where like we were losing energy on important topics. So now this is I think, a beautiful compromise. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to do one a month, maybe something like that, but
Yeah. So
anyway, let us know how you like it.
Yeah, suggest people you want to come on for a sweet hang. You're welcome to suggest yourself. That's totally fine. But if you want to hear somebody, perhaps a past guest, come back and do just a more hang, let us know. Always open to suggestions. But you will see that in your feed later on this week.
Nice. All right. So we had a big launch today.
So a little bit stressful, man.
You were a little stressed when we got
I was a little stressed. So big like strategic moves happening today.
I love it. I love it.
We love a strategy.
It's so good.
We've talked in the past about the conundrum that is the Aaron Francis YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
My interests are many and varied.
They are.
Even when we constrain them to some sort of technology, they're still many and varied, and we can narrow it down to just like Laravel, PHP, and databases. Those are, spiritually adjacent, but to the algorithm, very, very
core,
different.
right?
Yeah. And within the database, we've got, short, 10 whatever minute videos, and then we've got long form podcasts, hour half long videos. Shoving that all on the Aaron D. Francis channel has I think hurt me in terms of growing an audience, because it's like, I don't like PHP, I like databases. I like PHP, I don't care about databases, or I don't want to listen to a podcast, all of the above. And so today is the launch of 2 new channels, one of which has content, one of which is just like being a placeholder for now. The one that has content is the Database School podcast channel. So it is a standalone channel. I've been working on new branding and design and stuff like that, and so we've got a new channel up, and we'll leave links down in the notes. And this will serve as the podcast channel. That's it. Just gonna have the podcast on there. And today we released the first one, which is an interview with the CEO of Planetscale, Sam Lambert. So big launch interview, trying to get all the hype over to the new channel. And so trying to time it all correctly and get everybody on the same page not on their side. They did everything right. On my side with, editor, graphic design person, all of that, trying to get it all put together just became quite stressful. But hey, it's out. It's a good interview. It's going well. There's a big surprise we can talk about here in a second, but that's where we're at.
So I didn't even notice if there was a logo type thing. I should have looked at that. Is there a logo type thing?
There's a logo type thing. So if you go to
it's not my feed.
If you go to, let's see.
Oh, there we are. Oh, okay, yes, I see.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of a header. Okay, we got a little bit of a logo with my face behind it, and just trying to unify the properties, and this is like step.
I like that. And then it's got the bottom of the closing tag where it could be podcast. That's what's there right now, but it could be other things in the future, potentially. Okay. I like it. Very flexible. Okay. Let me get off of there. That looks good.
Yeah, that's part of it, is trying to get a whole system together, so I can have the podcast branding and have the course branding and the platform, and like have all of that kind of together, and have like a theme for the thumbnails so they all look cohesive, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Oh, okay. So you got this interview. You worked it out with Sam. We're water under the bridge. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Because just to close our arc from the beginning of the podcast, you got laid off by Sam.
Yes.
And, management, not just Sam, I'm sure. Whatever it is. And then it's been a couple years. Everybody's back together. They want to be in the database. They like what Aaron Francis is doing. They want their stuff, I'm sure, to be featured. You like what they're doing. You've always said that you very much enjoy Planetscale and it's what it provides. So that's great. So everybody's back together.
Everybody's back together. I will give immense amount of credit to Sam Lambert, because he texted me. It was like the day of Laracon. So talk about like stressful timing. He didn't know that, of course. But he texted me and was like, "Hey man, I would love to give you back." This is a big reveal. I'd love to give you your course back. The MySQL for Developers course. I would love for you to have that back. And I was like, oh, shoot, like, wait, what? What's going on? And so, I'm trying to like MC a conference and like figure out what the hell's happening here.
You're doing business deals. You're texting.
I know. I'm out on stage. I'm like, everybody, hang on a second. I got something I got to do. And so he's like, hey, it's yours. You put your heart and soul into it. I think it belongs to you. I would love for us to like be on good terms. And so to me, that felt like a peace offering. Like, hey man,
branch.
Yeah, hey man, I hope you're doing well. I want to do this thing for you. And I thought, one, very like unnecessary. Not required at all, and two, very like humble and thoughtful to be like, hey man, this belongs to you. And we talk about this in the episode, so you could go listen to the end of the database school episode, and he had some very nice things to say, like, hey, you put all of your heart and soul into this thing, and you are like the steward of this course. And so from there we started talking some more, and then I suggested, like, what would be fun and what would surprise the people is if we did an interview together. That would surprise the people. And he was like, yeah, that would be fun. That would surprise the people. And so it just lined up such that it worked out for their Postgres offering to become GA today. We're recording on Monday. It came GA today. And so we released the podcast in lockstep with that. So it's kind of, a big launch for them. And so, yeah, it's, it hurt getting laid off, obviously. Like, we covered that in great detail. I have always said businesses are going to business. Like, you know what? That's how business goes.
Right.
And to have him personally reach out, all these years, 2 years, that's a long time. Have him reach out later and be like, hey, man, are we good? I want to be good. Is like, hey, you know what? That means a lot. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's a nice full circle. It's nice to not, have to tiptoe around anything. I had already had a Planetscale engineer on to talk about Planetscale Metal a while back. And like you said, I've always been impressed by, everything they've offered at Planetscale, but this does feel like, this is like, what a relief. How nice to not have to like, worry about anything like that. So feels good. I could have had the interview prepped, maybe a few hours earlier, because that part was stressful.
We'll get to that. Hold on.
The rest of it's good.
So I do think, first of all, when you're a kind-hearted soul, as we are, and you especially, but even myself to some degree, and an emotional person, which I think we both are.
Correct.
When you have stuff out there, negative energy out there with people, it just weighs on you. And it's like, we don't like when you have the opportunity to bury the hatchet with these kind of things. I think it is very nice to do.
Yes, I agree.
And then I also think that these things are a choice, and it's interesting for people to see that. It's like, obviously I'm very close with people who used to work at Userscape for me, right? And like, I could be mad at them and be like, oh, they went and took other jobs and I'm not going to talk to them anymore or whatever, right? But like, so that would be one choice. And some people definitely take that choice. I've known people who are like, this person left, I hate them.
Whatever. I hate their company they went to. I hate everyone they've ever known. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, oh, it's people evolve and things are happening and whatever. So yeah, when you're businessing, there's still humanity sometimes lurking in there, and you can you don't have to do what you might think is the obvious thing of staying mad or being mad or whatever those things are. So
yes,
that's great.
It is very heavy to carry a grudge forever.
Yes,
so
it can be.
And you will know this. Forgiveness is a Christian virtue. So that's another thing we got going here. And so it's nice to have all of that. Just be like, we're cool. And if you stick around to the end of this episode, I'm doing it again. Do you hear the tease? That's pretty good,
like
right?
it. Where you're learning.
If you stick around to the end of this episode where we talk about the traction table, it's nice because like I tweeted about this traction table, and then Sam texted me and was like, hey, which table did you get? Like, I saw on Twitter, and it's like, okay, like, we're cool. It's fine. Yeah. Everything's good. We're back. So yeah, feels good.
Which I want to know what traction table this is also, because I was curious about that. And this also
so you need to stick around to the end of this episode.
And I've talked about this. We've talked about this privately. Listeners, let us know what you think about this. I kind of feel like we should have a gadget segment where we do gadgets.
Oh, I love a gadget.
We got a lot of gadgets. I have tons of gadgets.
I would love a gadget segment. You know what's not a gadget, but I'm about to show as if it is? This brush right here.
No, that's a gadget. That's 100% a gadget.
This brush right here has proven useful more times than I can count.
What the hell is that?
Brushing off the keyboard, brushing off the desk, brushing off the screen. I don't know why I have this, but I use this thing probably 2 or 3 times a week. It is fantastic.
For the listeners, it's a small wooden brush with bristles. It's like 6 inches of bristles.
It's like
and the bristles are like
brush, I think.
2-inch long bristles. It's a substantial brush. This is a substantial brush. I guess it's not. I guess it's for. I don't know what it's for. It's not a hairbrush. It's for brushing things, I guess. And apparently, Aaron does a little like cleaning, and he's just brush. Just
like to brush everything off, put it back on the wall behind me. So that's a little preview for upcoming gadget segments, being brushes.
Yes, all right, very good. Brushes are gadgets are not limited to electronics. Just like the traction table, I presume is not electronic unless you spend a lot of money.
No, that's a little too dangerous. I don't want it ripping me in half.
I have questions about that. All right, so let's
stick around to the end of the episode. Yeah.
Oh man, we are getting good at this.
No,
all right,
no.
All right, so you do this video. I've only got 10 minutes in. I dropped like right before we started recording.
And you left a comment, which I appreciate.
You caught the comment already.
I caught the comment, yeah.
Well, part of it, this is why you need to go over there and watch this, people, is we get a brand new view of Aaron's apartment office.
That's right.
It blew my mind. And the other people are commenting.
Yep.
Nobody cares about the content. Everybody's very excited.
Everybody's like, ooh, new angle.
Yeah, new angle. We get to see around. My comment was that's like Seinfeld's apartment. You don't know what's around. What's in his bedroom? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's around the other corner. What is there a TV there at the other? If you would turn the camera around, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
So anyway, that's like
watch the video to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so you recorded the big reveal. You get your course back.
Yep.
I feel like we got a lot to cover here, but what about the production? You have the production. There was some production issues.
There were some production snafus.
Okay.
So I am trying to systematize and outsource, right? So I'm trying to get other people to do the parts that are not that I am not strictly necessary for, right?
Yeah.
And so I found a YouTube editor who is here local and is pretty good. And this is our first time working together. Okay. Just a few communication issues about when this thing is going to go live, when it's due, when I need to see the first version of it, that sort of stuff.
All right.
And so it's like, hey, we're going to publish this on Monday. Great. Come Friday, haven't really heard anything. And I'm thinking, okay, I need to see something on Friday because Friday is the end of the business week. Monday, we're going to publish. So we got to have it done by Friday. He's planning on working on it over the weekend. Like, hey, I don't work on the weekends, guys. I can't work on the weekends. Like I've got 4 kids. I'm a full-time dad. I can't like just pop open, for 2 hours on a Saturday and work on something. And so, I get a rough cut at like 4 a.m. on Saturday. And I'm like, okay, this is good. We're getting there. Let's go ahead and like finish this up so we can have it uploaded on Sunday night. So then Sunday night, I call him and I'm like, hey, I've got to have this uploaded. And it's still not, it's still not there. And, I get a we talk and he's like, got it. I get a message at like 1 or 2 a.m. Hey, it's uploaded. Actually, you can't upload it because this is a new YouTube channel and videos are limited to 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay. So I wake up at, whenever I wake up, 6:30, and I see these messages and I'm like, all right, let me get this verified. Very simple. You just got to like enter your phone number and stuff. And then I'm looking at the video and it like goes black at like 22 minutes. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I try to FFmpeg it. I try to like re-encode it, remux it. It keeps saying invalid data. Like it gets 18 minutes in, and then it's like spews out the FFmpeg errors that we're all, familiar with. And so I'm texting him. I'm like, dude, we're supposed to release this at 10:30 Central. I'm like, dude, we got to get this up. And he's like, oh, I don't know why it's corrupt. And so I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like
nightmare.
My blood pressure is just rising. I'm in the living room. I'm just like punching the couch. I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so finally he had to re-export it a couple of times. And it was like some Premiere thing, whatever, doesn't matter. Finally got it uploaded 30 minutes after I had promised Planetscale team it would be out. So not catastrophic, but still embarrassing. Like I said, it would be out at 10:30 and it wasn't, and I'm embarrassed by that. And so I called the guy after, and I was like, all right, this did not go very well. This did not go very well. No. What do you need to do? What do I need to do in the future to make sure that this goes better? And we had a productive conversation, and my thesis, or like my overarching principle, was like, hey, I am trying to hire you to take stress off of my plate. And so if you hand something back to me and I don't know if it's like good or if you've like signed your name to it, that's not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. I need you to put your name on it and stand beside it and say, this is a good product. And so like when I watch it back and it's like, well, did you watch it after you exported it? Because it goes black at 20 minutes. And like, that sucks. Like working with video sucks. Right. But that's part of, like, when I was an accountant, you had to always, I think they called it like self-assure or something. Like you would always check your workbooks before you handed it to your senior. Because if you handed something to your senior and they opened it and they're like, hey, this is wrong, like in the first second, it was like, well, that's embarrassing and you might get fired for that. Yeah. And so you always self-assured, like sign your name. I have checked everything that could possibly go wrong here and I didn't see anything. And so it was a productive conversation. And I think, we handled it well, but it was very frustrating to be like, I'm trying to offload stress and I have instead piled on 2 to 3 times as much stress.
Dude, I don't know. This
no answers. That's a no answers, dude. Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty much the exact story I've ever had with almost anyone who's a contractor. Like, this is the thing with contractors, and everybody's always like, I run my whole business on contractors and blah, blah. And I don't know. This is always the story almost every time. I mean, this is why when I do hire a contractor, I just like later, if we talk about the outro logo, which is just done by the best design logo people
you just
out
pay
there
through the nose for
because
it.
That's what you do. And then you actually get the thing you wanted versus like, you think you're getting the thing you wanted, but actually it's just blank screen after 18 minutes of an hour and 20 minute video. It's like, and there's just, I don't know. So hopefully you can make it work with them.
I hope so.
Obviously, you don't need a full-time person, so that's not going to be the solution for you either. So you need to have this outsourcing work, but I don't know. I don't like anything about this guy for you. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't know if this guy's listening. I'm sorry if you are, but this is not going to work for Aaron. Like, this is
off to a rough start. I will admit.
You can't be turning in stuff at 4 a.m. It's an hour and a half long video. You have to have time to actually look at it and make sure it's legit and all this stuff. Like, what's he doing at 2 a.m. editing wise? Is that really the best editing job you're doing for some amount of money, whatever you're paying him at 2 a.m? I don't know if that's when he's working his best. So I definitely don't like anything how any of that went. Yeah, I think this is the one. What you want to give him one more shot? I think that's fine.
I'm gonna give him another shot. I've been very straightforward with him. Like, hey, this has to change. Otherwise, it's like, this was a good shot. Let's just go our separate ways.
I mean, this is one of the defining characteristics to me of the really good consultants I've worked with is things like when this is due, when is the first deliverable. These sorts of dates and times are like locked down, super solid. Like, you know exactly when you have something due, when they have something due, what the expectation is for you to comment on the thing that they delivered to you and what time that's due. Like, it is all super quantified. Because otherwise, like, every consulting engagement ends in exactly this because you thought I was doing one thing and I thought you were doing a different thing.
I didn't understand. Like,
right. All that stuff. So I feel like that is my one hint for the people is if you get involved with a contractor and it's not like a bunch of date and times that are almost annoying, then it's probably going to go poorly because that's sort of the requirement to actually execute on these things properly. So, yeah. But okay, you got it out, not too late.
No,
it wasn't footage,
and nobody cared. I texted
anything,
Holly and I was like, I'm so sorry because the corrupt one was just processing on YouTube. It just said processing. And finally I like downloaded the file that was taking hours to process and hit play. And then fast forwarded and was like, oh, this is why YouTube can't figure out what to do with it, because it's
broken.
corrupt. And so I had been texting Holly and was like, hey, this is still processing. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, it doesn't matter. So they didn't care. I just felt like I gave them my word and embarrassed myself, but nobody cares but me.
It's kind of surprising that YouTube isn't more sophisticated about catching these sort of things. Like,
I know. I don't know.
Thought, yeah, like they'd be like, oh, this is corrupted. Like, we're spinning and spinning, FYI, corruption, like, or something's wrong.
I have to wonder if they like were running it through like tier 3 and 4 and 5 level, FFmpeg to like see if they could salvage it, and that just takes forever.
Right.
And then finally I just deleted it. So it might have come back eventually and said like, we can't do anything with this video. But after several hours, I was like, you can't do anything with this video.
There's nothing to be done with it. You're not going to fix it.
No. So,
oh boy.
Yes, a comedy of errors, but it's out there, and we've got the channel. We've got the branding, we've got the process, so now we'll see.
I do hate dealing with timelines. This is why I'm very averse to timelines, because I feel like stuff like this always, I mean, obviously it's unavoidable sometimes, but yeah, stuff just always happens. Right at crunch time, there's always something, and it's always stressful, and you always have to be somewhere, and you're trying to record a podcast, but things are blowing up and all the stuff. Like, it's always something going on. So that's annoying.
And I sent out emails to every database, email I had across the mini courses, and was like, hey, this is coming out on a new channel, get ready. And so the pressure is just like building and building, and I'm just like watching no video be there. So, whatever. It's fine. It's good. It's out there. It's a good interview. Go listen to it.
You already got a good chunk of subscribers, too. I think it was like already 500 or something.
500 subscribers in a couple hours. So that's good. And of course, the RSS still exists. So I'm moving over all the videos to a new channel, but the RSS stays the same. So I've got a bunch of listeners over there. So yeah, trying to systematize the whole thing.
I did see an interesting interview with Mr. Beast this morning. It was kind of like a cover story interview sort of thing on Bloomberg. Because I'm old school and I like Bloomberg. Bloomberg is still a great place for sort of news if you're into news. But anyway, it's a whole huge article. I'm not gonna go into it. But the part that's relevant to this is he has his main channel, of course, which is like the big channel. And then he has like a games channel and some other channels. And basically at the end of the day, they're like cutting down a lot of those. They're not like getting rid of them, but he's not going to work on them himself too much anymore, like just very small amounts and things like that. So it will be interesting to see, like, can you have a second channel? How does that relate to the first channel? All that kind of stuff. Like obviously the Aaron Francis-ness of the main channel versus the database school and how that plays and the algorithms, all things. I know, is there just like magic in the first channel that hit? Can you recreate the magic?
That is the question.
That is the question.
That is the big question: is have I peaked? So we'll see.
I don't know about that. But if it's not always so easy, it's just like with software companies and the second product and the third product and the fourth product, and they're never as good as the first product, even though the first product's not usually the first product either. It's like the 20th product, but the first one that you know about, and then the ones after that are not always as good. But this is a little different because you're going very focused on this, right? And it has a little bit of a different goal. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. But you're off to a good start. It's not 2 people on there, it's 500. So I think that's a good first 2 hours here. So
yeah, and I put out a video on the main channel kind of explaining like, hey, here's what's going on. And a couple of people commented and were like, oh, that's awesome, I love the database content, don't care so much for the Laravel content. And it's like, great, yeah, that's exactly what I'm after, is people that want one and not the other. Because every time somebody gets pushed a video that they don't click on and don't watch, it hurts. And so I'm trying to like have less of those things happen.
Yeah, I think when we talked about this a while ago with like the reverse of this, which was like unifying around the Aaron Francis, there was still some ideas of like, you're going to do a Laravel courses and you're going to do like more general web development type stuff. But now that you're kind of focusing down on really databases for the coursework, I think that all makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's pay some bills.
Let's do
that. We had a guest reader, which you'll have to tune into that episode to hear. But that was fun to have Michelle do the ad reads. Okay. This episode, Mostly Technical, brought to you by our super friends over at Bento, the email marketing and CRM platform teams actually love. Send your product, marketing, and transactional email with Bento, one app, all your marketing needs. Love Bento. Geocodio is going to be moving to Bento. So check Bento out for all your email marketing. Really appreciate them, as always, supporting the show. And native PHP and Bifrost, the fastest way to build native mobile apps and ship them to your users on Android and iOS. Build with native P, distribute with Bifrost. Plans start at $19 a month, and all subscriptions get a free native PHP license so you can start building right away. Check that out at bifrost.nativephp.com. So thanks to them for sponsoring. Okay, so what about we close the loop on MySQL course?
MySQL for developers.
Yes.
So they have given it back to me. So I've gone into Vimeo and downloaded all the videos, and I have them all now. It is still live on planetscale.com/MySQL. It will be live on databaseschool.com when I do the big release for that. And so at some point, that course will transition over. It's just waiting on me. It will transition over to a property that I own and is on that, database platform. So that is like step 0 is to get it, living again on the platform that I control. Step 1 after that is to kind of like basically take it apart and redo it. So we've talked many times on here about the 10-hour course versus the 1-hour course. And right now this is a, I think, 8.5-hour course. And so taking that apart and breaking it down into smaller sections and re-recording it with the new everything, frankly, and the new MySQL releases, that kind of stuff. It'll be a phased process, but it is nice to have. It's nice to have the big 3 back in my control. So I've got Postgres, SQLite, and MySQL now, which is that's the trifecta.
Yeah, the open source database world. That's kind of the big dog. So now, you got it back. Are they going to redirect their URL over to you at some point, or okay?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's great.
Yep.
So now you're going to re-record them all anyway?
I will. It'll be both a re-record and a repackage kind of deal. So I'm not going to just do word for word re-record to get it in, the new studio, whatever. That feels like effort without reward. But I think re-recording and kind of restructuring the content a little bit to meet what I'm hoping or what I'm planning on the standard for database school being, which is these shorter, more pointed courses about, like, we'll say, instead of everything MySQL, it's just like indexing in MySQL or JSON in MySQL or, whatever, CTEs, window functions, whatever, and scope it down to much, much smaller. And so the thought there is that I can probably get 4 or 5 courses out of this and not charge for them individually. But this goes back to what I was mentioning and what you recommended: start with subscription. And I think that is the move. So break it down and do dedicated 1 to 2 hour courses about the topics contained in that larger course. And then that helps bolster the catalog. And I truly think it's better for the learner to be like, actually, I just want to learn about window functions in MySQL. Whereas right now I have that in one 18-minute video. I can turn that into 45 minutes of 8 videos and break it down a little bit better and go a little bit further. So that's the thesis.
So you're going to reuse any of the is the content going to become like the foundation? Are you going to literally watch those videos and then use that as a foundational content, or not so much? Like, is it just going to be kind of like you use the current videos that you got back as like sort of placeholders until you get the redone course?
So it'll exist in its first state as just like the full course. MySQL for developers. If you want to watch 8 hours, good luck, have fun. And then over the course of the next, couple of months, I will start to pick off parts of it. But that doesn't mean like disassemble the existing course. That just means, hey, here's a legacy course, MySQL for developers. It's still very good. Here's a new course, window functions in MySQL, or something like that. And I'll use some of the old stuff as, inspiration and reference. But it's more going to be like having that as back catalog and then using that as a springboard to do these individual courses.
Well, it definitely super helps too for like if we're able to launch with subscriptions, it just gives you more content there day one.
Yep.
I don't know if it's still free or not. It's just gonna be open and free or not necessarily.
Yeah, I think because MySQL for developers is free right now, I think it will be login required, no payment required.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's an old course, it's fine.
It still creates the vibe like there is stuff in here as opposed to there is not stuff in here, right?
Yep.
So I think that's all makes sense. Because with that, plus the SQLite course, plus the Postgres, I mean, even forget the rebundling stuff. Like, I mean, you're gonna have what 150 videos or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, easily.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, even with that regard, it's like, I don't know about redoing the MySQL one now that you have this back.
Yeah, I don't even know that redoing is correct. Like it is
just additive, deeper.
Yeah, it's like maybe repackaging is part of it, but also restructuring. And so I can go deeper on some things. I can do more, different hands-on examples for other things. Because like when I do window functions are in my head for some reason. When I did the window functions video, it was like, there's a huge amount to cover here. I can run through maybe 2 examples, but this is one video in a larger section. And like, I think I did it justice, but I could do a lot better if it were 10 videos, which is doable in a week, right? Like I could do 10 videos on window functions in a week.
You could.
That's awesome. So that's kind of the idea.
I want to push back. Can I push back?
You can push back.
Okay. I think at this stage of things, where you're trying to get this off the ground, that even a week, I just think a course on window functions that takes you 2 weeks total.
Okay.
To like get the knowledge and record it and review the edits and whatever. That 2 weeks is better spent on a topic you have no content for at all. Whether it's Redis or ClickHouse or whatever, it doesn't even matter which one. Anything that's something you don't already have. And that the going back and tweaking the MySQL course is better done later after you've broadened the offering so that the subscription feels like, boy, this covers like a lot of the database stuff I need.
Yes.
Rather than like I went even deeper on MySQL, which is sort of a subtle thing and I think might be harder to convey than like we have everything you need for databases on the internet.
Yeah.
Here it is. Like, so that would be my
I agree with that. So I don't know that I think those steps I laid out, step 0 and 1 and 2 are like for MySQL for developers. I don't know that that's not inclusive of other steps that are happening. But for that course specifically, step 0 is just like get it into the fold.
Right.
But I do agree that I think it's more important to do Redis before I do, MySQL schema or
MySQL
something like
window
that.
functions, right?
Window functions, level functions. TEs is another one. Love a CTE. So I agree with that.
Okay. Cool. Well, this is great. I mean, it's back in the family.
Back in the family.
You get a bunch of free content that you didn't have to work again for, which is amazing. And I think we're in a pretty good spot. So when are you going to do the subscription launch and the database school launch of it itself? Is that a ways off? That's
not a ways off.
Okay.
October 15th or 22nd.
Oh, right. Because you're going to tie it with the new free Postgres course.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah, a lot of work to do still there.
What's your pricing? Have you thought about the pricing?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea. We can save. We're at 40 minutes, so we should save that for when we get closer.
Future episodes.
I do need some thoughts on that because I have. I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Pricing.
I know Brian Castle just did a thing and did like a founding members price for his like AI cohort thing, which I thought the founding members thing is cool.
Interesting
I think that's
idea.
a good angle. Yeah.
Yep.
So noodle on some pricing thoughts, and we'll have to get to those because I don't really know. The only concrete thought I've had is I would like to push hard for yearly subscriptions and or only offer yearly subscriptions. I don't know. But that's the only concrete thought I've had about that. I've had so many thoughts about so many other things.
I kind of like that. I think I kind of like that. It's always tricky. I mean, it's such a trade-off there, but I think it could be reasonable.
I think
to try that.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we'll do pricing of that.
We'll do pricing maybe next
pricing
week,
episode. Yeah.
Yes, we are getting close. But before we do that, thanks to our friends at honeybadger.io. Move fast and fix things with all-in-one application monitoring for Laravel and its spiritual cousin Rails and more. Laravel and Rails, they're just best friends. So if you need all-in-one application monitoring for your Laravel or Rails application, check out honeybadger.io. Thank you to the Honey Badger team for sponsoring Mostly Technical.
Yes. And all of our sponsors got a bonus episode of sponsorship this month.
That's right. You never know.
If you out there had been sponsoring, you would have got an extra episode.
That's right. So, that is right. We talked a little bit with Michelle about this, but I'm going on a vision quest.
Yes. Let's cover that
next week. So I found a secluded Airbnb about an hour and a half from Dallas. And I will be off the grid seeking the vision.
I love a vision quest.
So we'll see what comes back. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good.
What do you got queued up?
What do I have queued up?
For your thoughts. And what are you doing for food?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably just a bunch of frozen zas.
Yeah.
Are you like frozen zas?
Are you so far from humanity that like you can't have things delivered, you think? Or
yeah.
Okay, what's a frozen za? I don't know what that is.
Frozen pizza.
Oh, frozen pizza. Okay,
yeah, it's just like a fun little shorthand for pizza.
I see.
It's just the last half
Southern
of it.
thing or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I feel like when you go on Vision Quest, people are usually like you just have a liquid diet or you have something you only
or
eat
something.
Or you're having only green things or something. I don't know about frozen pizza as the
maybe I'll have only
fuel.
Frozen things. That could be like that's like only spiritually similar to only green things, just more air encoded.
It's only 2 days, right?
It
is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could easily get some great food from places you enjoy, bring it with you, and just get items that are reheatable-ish. So maybe a great
like
bowl.
Some Torchy's tacos or something.
Yeah, tacos don't usually reheat very well, but yeah, something like that.
Much to consider.
You gotta have the food straight.
I'm kind of like pumped about the frozen zas, but we'll see.
Maybe you should fast. Well, fasting, cleanse the mind.
That didn't sound fun at all. Sounds brutal.
All right, so what are you doing? You're going there. Let's go. You're getting in your car. Boom.
Get in
my
car.
Morning or night? When are you leaving?
I've dropped off the kids at school.
Gotcha.
And I'm heading out to East Texas.
That's the best. I love the morning. You're just out. Okay.
Yep. I paid $30 for an early check-in, which means I can check in at 1. So I'll still be there too early to check in. So I'll probably go to a little coffee shop and grab coffee, sit there, start the process of freeing my mind.
Transition.
And then I'll have my phone bricked, so I won't have access to any social media or anything like that. There's a fire pit in the backyard, and so I'll be wandering around, looking at stuff.
Make a fire.
Yep. I'll probably bring, my yellow notepad, do a bunch of writing, figure out, just let the thoughts flow.
Yep.
So the hope is Fidelopers loving this. The hope is we figure out what to do with our life. That is the hope.
It's such a bold, it's just you're going all in on it. What am I going to do in my life? The big questions.
You gotta dream big.
Okay.
So yes, this has been a very stressful 18 months, a very stressful 4.5 years. And I would like to spend some dedicated time thinking about what does the next 4 years hold? Because if it's going to be this level of stress for this level of output, I don't want to do it. And so what levers can be pulled? What can be changed? What am I good at? What am I bad at? What do I like doing? What do I not like doing? What does the market demand? That sort of thing. Try to figure out where those circles overlap and see if that is a place I want to inhabit or not.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's always good to check your direction, right? Because it's so easy to be like, I'm in a direction and I just keep going in that direction, because that is the, even when it's hard, that's still the easiest thing to do than to change direction. So I like this. I guess, yeah, but that's a huge question. So you're going to be sitting there. You got the fire going.
Got the fire going.
It's warm. The fire's on your face.
Yep.
You got some and you're like, what am I going to do in my life? Now, are you strictly containing this within a business mindset, or are you going broader? Okay.
Business. Only. Yeah.
What am I doing?
The other stuff. I got the other stuff figured out. Yeah. Gonna stay married, gonna keep all my kids. All that's good.
Implying that you were gonna get divorced, but more along the lines of like, do I want to live in Texas? Do I want, whatever, all these things. Like,
not really, but that question's already been answered. So
so we're constrained to businessing. It's the big business question. What am I doing with my business life?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a big part of my life.
It is.
As you know, not working for someone, it becomes all one thing,
It's all your life.
If it was just like, hey, I got to make, a couple videos a week for some corporate overlord, and then I log off and I go dig a garage by hand. Like, I don't really care. Everybody's got to work. But this is like all encompassing, It's
always in your brain. That's the thing. It's always like, should I do this? Am I doing that right? I don't know. Like, what's my pricing going to be? That's going to make you insane when you actually start to think about that. So yeah, I got, I don't have a lot of good advice on that one. That's just what comes with it. Occasionally you run across these people who are like, oh, I run my own business and it's super easy. Most of the time I think they're lying. Occasionally, like maybe 1 in 10 of them is actually telling the truth, but I don't think that's the common path. So,
no.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I don't know. I guess it's such a big question. I don't know how to delve into it deeper. I guess we'll have to see what you come up with.
We'll see what I come up with.
Yeah. And go from there. Man, I see, I've had kind of the like almost inverse the last month or two. And
what is my life gonna do?
Fascinating.
With me? What's the inverse of what am I gonna do with my life?
So you're approaching it from a like business life.
Okay.
The next 15 years, am I on the right path, right? I've started to have this like doing the little math in my head where it's like, my youngest is going to be in college in 6 years. And so now it's like, it's just like almost this inevitable, like, 6 years. Like, I know what I'm doing for the next 6 years. Cause like the next 6 years, I just want to get to 6 years from now without rocking the boat too much. And then my responsibilities are not over, but lessened. Like everybody's out of the house. 2 of the 3 are like out of college or they're in graduate school or whatever they're doing.
Society.
And then, the youngest is in college and whatever. But like, we can even cut back on various expenses at that point. Maybe we don't need such a big house, like blah, blah, all these things. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't been able to even totally solidify it, but it's just this feeling of like, all right, that's 6 years. Then now that's not far. I mean, I've done this 20 and now I just need to go another 6. That doesn't feel so far. And I'm sure I'll go beyond that too. It's not like at 6 years I'm stopping, but it's like, it will be this milestone of like, we got the kids out. Like we did this for the family and the kids and the sacrifices. And then they are all there out of the house. We got through it. HelpSpot paid for everybody and everything. And that's going to be cool. So that's, I don't know. It's like, I still have my, whatever, I'm building outro. I'm doing other stuff like that. I still have my like interests, but there's something sort of solidifying about that in a way. I don't know. And maybe maybe the AI customer service will totally take over and it won't be an easy 6 years. We will see. So far that
we will see. If you want to, I don't know what you're doing next week. If you want to come have some za and build a fire.
Dude, that's not a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea. That would be so unproductive. We would just like hang out the whole time.
Maybe we could, I'll guide you through. Go deep.
If you bring the peyote, you can guide me through. Yeah, that's the deal.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I could see that. That's a big 6 years is not that far away, and it's
like
a massive
sight.
Yeah, massive transition.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's sort of just a different like the end is like I can see the end there, like because it's also like that. Whatever. Let's just say on 7 years from now, the whole thing implodes, HelpSpot goes to 0, whatever, which I think is very unlikely. But let's just say it happens. Everybody's out of the house. Like now you're out of the house. Oh, survive. You know how to survive. We taught you how to survive. You're going to be fine. We
Don't
just
look
have to take
back
care of
at Dad,
ourselves. Like we can like take care of ourselves. I can get a little job, stocking the shelves, whatever. Just like we got a little money put aside, so we'll be fine. Like it is not the like overhead of like everything's in front of you and all the money is in front of you. It's like, no, a lot of the money's behind us. Ah, that's nice. So anyway, it's kind of this little interesting juxtaposition.
I look forward
here.
to that day.
You gotta get
I don't
there.
want it to come soon, but I do look
know.
forward to the day of like, some of that like stress is behind us. That part sounds nice.
There's no winning because it's like you want some of those parts to get here fast, but then as they arrive, you're like, man, like I'm never doing that again. Like this is gone. They're not little.
I don't want to wish a single moment away. Yeah.
So...
I just want to wish the stress away. That's all.
I don't think that goes away, unfortunately. As you know, I want to tell you these things that it doesn't necessarily get easier as you go. Maybe when they're out of the house.
It's my least favorite thing you tell me is that it doesn't get better. It's unbelievable.
Oh man. All right. So traction table. You've teased
I got a traction
it long enough.
Table. Yeah. Welcome to the end of the episode.
What the hell this is and
so I've had lower back pain for years. I used to play soccer all the time. Soccer was my entire life in high school, and I would have these just like intense lower back pains. And I've had them ever since then. And so I've done a number of things. I've done stretching, I've done exercise, I've tried yoga for a little while. And several years ago, I actually had a herniated disc that I had to have surgery for. This was like 4 years, like right when the first set of twins was born.
They're like in the 4.5 year period.
6 weeks old, and I am in bed because I can't stand up. And then I go get spine surgery, and Jennifer's like, "What am I supposed to do with 2 6-week-olds?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I can't get out of bed." So just recently, I've noticed my back being more and more painful. And when I did get the spine surgery, the spinal surgeon was telling me about exercises to do to like decompress the spine. So like, you lay on your back, you pull your legs up, and then you kind of like push on the top of your thighs, and that like pushes your legs down and pushes your back up, and it kind of creates that space, and a bunch of fluids get into your spine and everything feels great, right?
Okay.
And so I thought, yeah, that's fine. Is there a device that I can buy instead? And so I started looking and found traction tables. Very normal, common thing is like a table that you lay down on, where in my case, it's like super low to the ground. It's like $150. It's just some random thing off of Amazon. Yeah. Super low to the ground. Looks like a workout device, kind of. It's got those padded things where you stick your legs in. So like you stick your legs down at the end, and it kind of like locks down on your ankles with those little padded things. So you stick your feet in, and you pull the bar up, and you lower it down to where it's like touching the tops and bottoms of your ankles. And then you lay back, and you put another set of like those padded things underneath your armpits. And so you're like hooked in at the top and the bottom, right? And then there's a little crank wheel.
I was going to say, I want there to be a wheel.
There's a crank wheel. It's a torture device. There's a little crank wheel that you can turn, and there's a little, actuator device under there that as you turn it, it's like pushing your feet down away from the top part. So it's not like pulling your head. It's just pulling your feet away, and the thing under your armpits are keeping the upper part of your body locked in. And so the idea there is that like you crank it until you feel like the stretch or the release, and then you just kind of hold it for a while. So I've been doing this for, it's been like maybe 10 days now. And I do this for 8 to 10 minutes before bed. And after that, I'll do a little bit of, light stretching to like try to stretch out the hamstrings and the calves as well. So I'll probably stretch for another 5 to 10 minutes. Nothing too onerous. And I kid you not, it has fundamentally changed how I feel. Like 100% different. I feel amazing.
Crazy. Wow.
So like I do it at night before bed. And one day this week I was walking around at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at work, walking around, and I thought to myself, I feel awesome right now.
Wow.
And it's like that durable that during the day, I'm like, ooh, yeah. Like I feel good. And like when you wake up in the middle of the night, you really have to pee. and then you go pee, and then you lay back down, and you're like, oh God, I feel amazing. Like, I feel so relaxed. I'm in bed. My bladder's empty. That is how I feel, except in my back. And so the strange thing is, it feels like I have been working out my whole posterior chain. So like from my calves up to my hamstrings, through my butt, up my back, up my shoulders, up to like the lower part of my skull. It feels like I have put that through a workout, because it's kind of like sore, but it's that good kind of sore where you're like, oh yeah, I haven't used that in a long time. And so I popped it into Claude and chat and was like, hey, like, I've been stiff for 1,000 years. I've been doing this traction table. Everything feels like I've been working out. What's going on? And it's like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's like patterns of tension are finally being released. Muscles are finally returning to their natural length, and the fascia, the like sheathing around the muscles, is finally like releasing all of those patterns of tension. And that makes sense that you would feel that, because they've been, under stress for so long. And it's, dude, it is unbelievable how much better I feel.
Fascinating.
Isn't that crazy?
Another great gadget.
I know.
So I have some back issues. They're not like always present. Well, they're kind of always present, but they're not like terrible. But then once in a while they flare up, and then they are terrible. Like I had a week ago, something like that. And so this is interesting. Mine's a little more upper back. Do you think it would work for the upper back though? Because like I'm not locked in like above a certain point.
So is it like above your shoulders?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like between my shoulder blades, I would say.
I have that too, and it's better.
Okay, yep. It is okay. Do you have any concerns about doing more harm than good?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just like pushing those aside.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you're cranking your wheel, right? Like, how far are you taking this? Like,
I'm not trying to hurt myself. It's obvious. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's nice because you can kind of modulate it by like almost like shrugging your shoulders, because the upper part is fixed. And so you can do it until you like start to feel it. And then you can kind of do it like you would a stretch, where you like shrug your shoulders down and it pulls it out a little bit, and then you take a like 30 seconds and then you let it off, and then you're kind of still in traction, but you're not like doing the more extreme version. And so that's how I do it, is I'll like get it to a pretty good spot where I can feel it in my lower back. And then as I have the courage, I like stretch it out a little bit more, and I'm like, oh man, that feels good. It kind of hurts. And then I let it go. And then when I'm done, I have to release it very slowly. I like crank the wheel the other way.
I was wondering about that.
And I'm like, all right, don't just hop up, like let everything settle back to where it's supposed to be. And then I do a few stretches, and then I get up and I go immediately lay down in bed. This is the last thing I do. I go lay down in bed, and it's just like, I just feel relief. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. So I highly encourage it. This is medical advice. I highly encourage it. It's been very useful for me. I had a friend, a local friend here, who's had a lot of back pains as well. He bought the same one and texted me on Sunday. He's like, I just spent 15 minutes on this thing, and now my vision's all blurry in the middle of my eyes. And I'm like, that's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Did he recover? Is he okay?
Yeah, he said it went away. And then I texted back, and I was like, oh, were you serious about the vision thing? And he's like, yeah, it went away pretty quickly though. I'm like, oh shoot. Maybe one too many cranks there.
Yeah. Compressing some nerve that didn't like being compressed or decompressed or whatever.
It's awesome. So highly recommend it if you've had long-term lower back pain, to just kind of like stretch all that stuff out.
There's a million of these, so we will put the link to yours.
Yes, I will share it with producer Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw somebody was like, "Ooh, man, those are expensive, $5,000." And I'm like, "Ooh, no. Maybe at a PT's office, it would be the real deal, but this one's Amazon."
Yeah. All right. I love a health gadget. A health gadget's the best kind of gadget. Look, you've already sold several, and like everybody's looking for better health, right? Yep. So,
and I think it can roll under the bed. It like you can take the foot part off at the end, and you can like shove it under your bed. So
yeah, you're tall. So is this is big enough for you? It holds you. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. And has Jennifer tried this or no?
She has not. No.
Okay. This is just your toy.
She lets me run down some of the weird things before she does. Yeah, she's like, "I support you, honey."
The same thing. Yeah. I come up with the weird solutions for weird health stuff, and Jamie's like, "Okay, whatever." And,
if you stick to it, let me know. It's like, all right.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Traction table. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know this eye blurriness. Now I'm a little scared, but I
it's
do like
probably
a
fine.
gadget. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably fine. You haven't had that, so it's
No,
fine.
I haven't had that at all. That's
But
a
you're
him
limber
problem.
now.
I'm
I love
limber
that you're
now.
limber.
I'm limber now. I feel good.
Being limber. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, changes things.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it. Thanks, everybody. MostlyTechnical.com to get all the old episodes, the future episodes, Mostly Tech Pod on the various social media, Mostly Technical Podcast at gmail.com if you want to shoot us any ideas for sweet hangs or other things. And we will see you next week. Talk to you later.
See ya.